y'all, this is Terry Lee Moore, the Rose Queen of the Texas music scene, and this is another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show featuring Jake Penrod.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the #1 resource for independent music in Northeast Texas. It's the ETX ROCKS Show, episode number 289, featuring the one and only Jake Penrod. And you might notice we're in a new location. We're sitting in beautiful Tatum, Texas, at the brand new Mojo Studio, a division of Mobile Audio and Video Productions, who you guys might remember did a lot of our content from season 1 to season 3. Just a beautiful facility, 100% analog, 100% digital. Y'all should check them out, Mobile Audio and Video Productions. We'll have that in the description below. But we're sitting here with an East Texas boy, and as you guys might know, I'm a huge fan of traditional country music, and you can't be a fan of traditional country music and not know who Jake Penrod is. The only thing I didn't know is that you're from East Texas.
Right in the middle of it, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Right under my nose. Man, Jake is a phenomenal singer-songwriter too, which a lot of folks out there may not know, and that's one reason why I wanted to have you on, because there is a misnomer that you're a tribute artist,
Right.
and you're not a tribute artist.
Right. I do some tributes, but it's a little small part of what I do.
Right. And you did that for a lot of years, and that's kind of where you cut your teeth.
That's kind of what got me started, yeah.
Right, right. But the original music is where it's at for Jake Penrod. He's been writing damn near all his life, and we're going to showcase 2 or 3 songs here today. Tell us about the first thing you're going to play, Jake.
Yeah, it's a song I wrote maybe a month or so ago, and it all came from, I'd gone into a place in San Antonio where they stamp your arm so they know you've paid to get in.
Right,
and
right,
a
right.
friend of mine and I had gone in there, and she says, "Hey, look, matching tattoos." And I don't have any ink on me at all yet, maybe one of these days, but the idea of matching tattoos stuck in my head. So
Wow.
I came up with this little sad love song about, 2 former partners still have the matching tattoos and wonder, do you ever look at yours? That's kind of how the song goes.
Is that the name of the song, Matching Tattoos?
The song's actually called All the Time.
All the Time? All right, guys, so it's the one and only Jake Penrod with All the Time, live here on the ETX ROCKS Show. Y'all check it out.
Do you ever look at your tattoo that matches mine? You know the ones we got that only we can find. Do you think about that summer when you were just mine? To tell the truth, I think about it all the time. Do you ever think about those trips we used to take? Looking at the landmarks down the interstate, or sleeping next to me when it was getting late. Memories like that cross my mind most every day, and I miss you, baby, I miss you, and I wish you were still mine all the time. Do you ever wonder what if it worked out somehow? If we stayed together and we made that vow, would there be a little one of us by now? God, I wish there were some way we could find out. and I miss you. Baby, I miss you, and I wish you were still mine all the time. Girl, I miss you. Baby, I miss you, and I wish you were still mine all the time.
So we are back once again. That was All the Time by Jake Penrod. And we're really excited to talk to Jake today because he's a really unique artist in the fact that you started off really as a tribute artist, but you want to be known as an original artist because
Right.
that's who you are
Sure.
At the core of things. So you got into music really young, and your influence are clear in your music.
Right.
So how were you drawn to that kind of music early on?
When I was about 8 years old, back then I was listening to whatever was on the radio, Garth Brooks, George Strait, Alabama, they were all real big. And that's the summer of 1993, sitting in the living room watching Cartoon Network all day, you know, vegging out in front of the TV. And this ad comes on for this Hank Williams album called Golden Memories, I think. It was mostly gospel music. And I was familiar with Hank Williams Jr.,
Right.
but I'd never, you know, being 8 years old, the whole junior, senior, you don't put things together. And I didn't realize that there was somebody before that, and this voice coming out of the TV. I'm like, wow, who is this? This
Yeah.
sounds cool. Because nobody sang like that, and still nobody sings that way. And it just hit me as really awesome at the time, and I was glued to it.
So 8 years old.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then from there, and before then, you know, I remember being about 4 or 5. My dad was listening to Sons of the Pioneers and Johnny Cash, and so I was exposed to, you know, real traditional stuff very early. And for some reason, though, Hank Williams was the one that really popped out at me. And then from there, it was Ray Price, Lefty Frizzell, Ernest Tubb, Roy Acuff. And there used to be an all-night, I say all-night, it was a request show on a radio station in Dallas. It's not there anymore. It was called Sunny 95, and they would play Saturday nights, all request. And people were calling in, you know, Fraulein by Bobby Helms, Another Bridge to Burn, Little Jimmy Dickens,
Nice.
just stuff you don't hear on the radio
Right.
every day. And I fell in love with it. And when I started playing music, I got my first guitar when I was 9, and that's what I was trying to play.
Did you leave everything else behind? Like, you know, the stuff
Kinda.
that was on the radio and...
Kind of. I mean, it was always there, and I'd hear it. And there would be a few songs that would come out every now and then that I was like, that's really good. Like Carrying Your Love with Me, George Strait, was like
that's a good one.
96, I think.
Mhm.
That was a great song, but it was always, I didn't care for I don't know, it's the newer sound.
The edgy stuff.
What I call city music.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It's,
city music.
It's good, but it's not the stuff I love.
Right.
And so I just gravitated toward the old record collections of my grandparents and my parents, and trying to explore more older stuff like that rather than wait for newer stuff to come
And this
out.
is before the internet age, really.
Yeah, I
so-
was digging through record piles
Yeah.
and old cassette tapes and 8-tracks and stuff. I was probably one of the only 10-year-olds at the time who knew how to operate a turntable.
Wow.
And the difference between a 45 and a 78. You know.
And that little yellow piece you had to put in the middle of
Yeah.
the record. Yep.
Ours was black, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always had yellow ones. I would not have guessed it would be the Cartoon Network that
Cartoon
turned
Network,
you
yeah.
on to country music.
There was a Conway Twitty commercial about the same time that really got to me, too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, I mean, you're probably, what, early 30s now?
33.
33?
That's
So-
usually a closely guarded secret, but we've put it out there now.
Oh, you see, I was really nice in the framing of my question there. I didn't say, how old are you, Jake
Right.
Penrod? I left it open-ended, y'all. But yeah, 33 years old, which means you're an 80s kid, and you're turned on to the stuff from the 50s, mid-50s to early 60s. I'm 41, and somehow I was turned on to the same style of
Right.
music. I mean, I can go weeks listening to only Hank Sr., for example. So you were on my radar as a tribute artist for a long time. How do you, as an artist who is a creative individual, how do you go from that perception of being a Hank Sr. tribute artist to, hey, I'm this guy now releasing records and all that stuff?
It's kind of tough. It's like I have two fan bases. There's the folks that come out to the dances we play, like Austin, Fort Worth, dance halls, honky tonks, dives, wherever we are. And in those sets, I may do 1 or 2 Hank songs if I'm in the mood. You know, usually it's Johnny Bush, Waylon Jennings, Ray Price kind of stuff, plus the originals. And then just yesterday, I was doing we did a Hank Williams, Patsy Cline tribute show down in Llano, Texas. Yeah. And
is that with Lisa Lane?
No, she used to be on the show with us. Bridget Huffines plays Patsy now. Yeah. But I have the folks that show up to that. They have no idea that I do the other shows, and the people that come out to the dances usually have no idea that I do the Hank Williams stuff. And once in a while, the audience will overlap. But when we'll have a night where the band's really on fire and we're doing great and we're doing a lot of original stuff, a lot of the upbeat Johnny Bush, really fast shuffles. And then we'll get the Hank Williams requests. So like, all right, we'll knock these out, do 2 or 3 in a row. And then they keep coming. Hey, do another Hank song. Hey, do another Hank song. And while I love it, I love the music, the legend of the guy, he's just larger than life. The love for the music and the love for the persona will never go away, but it's and it feels sacrilege to say I get tired of it. Yeah. But
it's a double-edged sword, for sure. It's like, it's something you excel at, but you also want to be known for excelling at your own style of music, your own, your own creativity.
Right. It's like being a chef who's known for one dish, and you can make everything in the world, but dang it, you make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Right, so that's all they want.
That's right. And it's funny because he's been viewed on YouTube over 1 million times, and
that's weird.
I can imagine that is weird. But if you go on YouTube and you search up Jake Penrod, one of the videos that'll pop up almost every time is the history of country music with Jake. And I was turned on to that video from a friend of mine, and I love the video. But thank God I found that video, because I was able to kind of link into your albums that were there too. Because I'm that guy. Like, I'm okay, this was cool. I want to know, do they write too? And so I clicked on your YouTube, and you have, I think, 3 records listed on there, or maybe it's 2. That's right. And man, the original stuff is so good, man. It's like you're writing relevant music to today in an old honky tonk kind of style. How difficult is it for you to do that, like keeping it modern and classic at the same time?
I don't really think of it at all. I just, whatever comes to me, I write in the style that I learned, I guess. And I think it was, of all people, I think John Lennon, the one that said that your own style comes from your failure to emulate your influences.
Right.
But all my influences are Stonewall Jackson, Lefty Frizzell, but we're living 2018, and so the subject matter is really close to the same. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of payphones. It costs more than a dime to play a jukebox anymore.
There's still a lot of heartbreak out there.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people falling in love.
Feelings are the same.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And one thing I wanted to know from you, you do play a lot of live shows, a lot of concerts, and different kind of venues as well. What is your fan base? Who are the people coming to your shows?
It depends on where I go. Austin, Texas, I've noticed the age range, and like one of the places we play is the White Horse about once a month. The audience in there will be from around age 25 to 40.
Wow.
And that's just the regular night crowd.
Yeah.
And they're two-stepping and waltzing, and just the floor is packed, and you wouldn't think you'd see that this day and age.
Yeah, right.
We go up to Fort Worth. Place I like to play up there, Little Red's Longhorn Saloon, and a little bit older than the Austin crowd, maybe 35 to 55, and a little upwards from there. And then we have the Western Swing and honky tonk festivals we do are generally the baby boomer crowd.
Right.
And
do you feel like you as an artist, do you find it difficult to connect to different demographics, or is it the same?
Not really. In fact, I've always found I have a lot more in common with people older than I am.
Of course.
But it seems like every place we go is almost like a different planet, or just within Texas. Each city is like its own country.
Yeah.
And so once in a while, the audiences will overlap, and I'll see guys in their 30s dancing with ladies in their 70s.
Yeah.
And they're all having the time of their life. So it's really cool to like sit back and watch these different cultures kind of come together in front of you.
It's got to be eye-opening as an artist, just watching that from the stage as well.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of weird stuff.
Well, I imagine, yeah. So 2013 rolls around for Jake Penrod, and this is the debut record.
Long time ago.
Closer to you, right?
Yeah, closer to me.
Closer to me, yeah. So 2013 is a long time coming. It's your first full-length album, all original music to you, every song written by you on the album. What is this moment like for you, who's been doing so many Hank shows and singing other people's songs for so long? Now you have your own material to show people. What happens for Jake Penrod at that point?
I was excited because the only thing I'd put out up until that point was a Hank Williams tribute. It was a double album.
Yeah.
And that's all I had. And so when I was trying to, really market me, I didn't really have anything to put out there other than a CD that I won't even tell you the name of it. I did a CD in 2004.
Was it bootleg of a bootleg?
No, not really. I mean, it was semi-professionally done. But if you listen to it now, I can't listen to it.
Yeah.
But and actually, I have a hard time listening to Closer to Me because since that I've evolved so much since then that it's weird to hear. But no, I was excited to put that out and actually have, I think it's 12 songs that I wrote.
Killer album.
Played all the instruments on that too, which was.
I'm definitely going to get to that too, for real.
That was a unique experience too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was at the time really proud to put it out. And now the stuff I'm working on now sounds to me so much better than that I don't even want to hear it. I'm focusing on the new stuff.
Well, how important is that evolution process to you?
Oh, it's huge. And I think every artist goes through that where you can't listen to the older stuff because
you've gotten better.
Get that and the style has evolved.
Yeah.
And I'm still pretty straight-laced and traditional. It's a lot more progressed than that first album.
Right. So he did mention playing all the instruments on the album. Now, I know that you play guitar, you play bass, you play fiddle, you play piano, you play steel guitar. Am I missing anything?
A little bit of mandolin, very little banjo, some accordion, organ, trumpet.
That's 11. What else is it?
Harmonica.
That's 12.
If you count the jaw, they call it a jaw harp. I grew up calling it a Jew's harp. I understand that's politically incorrect.
Yeah, that is probably not good.
I always understood it to be a reference to David and his harp.
Yeah.
Not anything derogatory. But that's not a real instrument. Well, I've offended someone else now. There's going to be a jaw harp player that said, no, he's wrong. It's an instrument.
And then you got vocals as well, so that's 14.
A little bit of French horn.
Jeez, man.
I played brass in college.
Yeah.
And so I have an understanding of all of that.
So is the
bagpipes too.
Bagpipes.
Not very good at it. You don't want to hear me play it.
Well, I mean, I've heard professionals that aren't very good.
Well, as a gentleman, I don't play them.
I understand. I understand. So, as someone who plays so many different instruments, is this just like natural boredom? Are you that kind of guy?
Kind of.
Get bored, so I need to try something else.
I wasn't a socially active teenager either.
Okay.
And I just had a lot of time to kill. And I'd spend a lot of time by myself with just a keyboard, and so that was really my primary instrument growing up was piano, organ, and then guitar. And I would just spend countless hours in my room alone making music, inventing stuff off the top of my head, learning how to play stuff. I played trumpet in school, and really that was kind of my doorway into all the other instruments because that was where I learned to read music. And so everything, like when I read music, I relate it in my head to the trumpet. And
wow.
I don't know why, or that it makes no sense. It has nothing to do with anything else. But piano is always easy because you can actually see the notes you're playing. It's all half steps and whole steps. Well, every instrument is half steps and whole steps. And when you figure out how to make each instrument do that, you can play it.
Wow. So 2 questions for you here as far as instruments. First of all, what is your favorite instrument to play? And secondly, what is the most difficult instrument that you play that you feel you're proficient at?
Steel guitar, both.
Okay.
It's my favorite because I love the sound, and you can never learn everything there is to know about it because there's always something else you can do different. you can add pedals, add levers, and you can change the instrument. There's no standard really as far as this is a pedal steel guitar versus this is, you know, no two are alike really. And it's just really interesting instrument. There's really no end to the possibilities of what you can do with it. It's just a matter of how long it takes you to sit and figure out a new trick.
Yeah, it's very true.
And it's also the hardest.
Yeah, it's a very difficult instrument. My father-in-law, my fiance's father, is a steel guitar player. He's been playing almost 80 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, as a creative songwriter as well, how much of an advantage is it for you creatively to know all of these different instruments, how to play them and stuff like that?
It definitely helps in the demo process.
Yeah.
Because and the demos are rough, but to let my band listen to them and, hey, learn this if you can. And it's I say I'm good enough a player to make a good, stencil, I guess, something to work off of. As far as proficiency, I wouldn't say I'm a really proficient at anything.
Right.
Because I know how much more there is to learn about everything. I can handle a guitar. I can handle a steel guitar. But I mean, I'm not.
Not to mention humility gets in the way as well.
Right, you know. But there's these other players that just play like circles around me.
Yeah, right.
So I'm always really careful to say, well, I'm not a guitarist or I'm not a steel guitarist. I just I can play a little.
Right.
But no, it helps with the creative process quite a bit because I'll be messing around with like the fiddle or the steel, and I'll play something that, hey, that sounds cool, and I can write a song around a lick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good for inspiration. I guess.
When you're writing lyrics or you hear a hook or a riff or a lick or something like that, when you're going from A to B to get the finished product of a song, how often are you in that zone where you're writing that you hear another instrument come in because you play that instrument?
A lot of times as I'm writing, I'll hear like what fills would work in the song. And I don't have a method really. Sometimes I'll hear something as random as a bird chirping, and you can hear it and slow it down, and hey, that's a pretty cool melody. What can I do with that? Mm-hmm. And then I'll write a song around the melody. Sometimes I'll hear somebody say something, and I'm like, that'd make a good song. And then I'll work.
Happened today off camera.
Right. And then I'll work, build a line and then put a melody to that. So sometimes the music's first, sometimes the words are first.
Right.
And
because a lot of times, a lot of that stuff happens in the studio later on. You know, like you'll find your fill. You're filling when you're working through it with the studio session musicians. Right. I just wanted to know, because you play so many instruments, that has to be in, the back of your mind way before that.
Yeah, sometimes when I write the song, the entire arrangement comes out in my, it's in my head as I write the song, and so I know before I hit the studio, I know what I want the steel guitar to do. I know what kind of bass line I want. Right. And sometimes I'll show up and I'll tell the engineer,
it's all yours.
I need you to produce this one for me because I don't know what to do with it. So every, like on Closer to Me, most of those songs I knew what I wanted before I got to the studio. And the Out of Control EP, that was all produced afterward. I went in and put on a scratch vocal rhythm track and I said, it's in your hands, work your magic. Yeah. And so sometimes it's all me, sometimes there's more creativity from other people involved.
Right. And so it's 2018 now, which means the next step in the evolution process for Jake Penrod is $1 Million Cowboy.
Right.
So tell us about this record.
This is going to be, I'm going to call it my first magnum opus. I hope I have many more. But this will be I'm really excited about this one. I've got a bunch of originals that I'm going to do, and as well as over the years I've worked with other musicians and making friends in the business. Songs that these guys are doing that I like. There's a guy named James Hand out of the city of West Texas. I always say West Texas.
People get confused.
Which is
like
in
Lubbock or what?
No, yeah, it's closer to Central Texas, but it's the city of West. Mm-hmm. James Hand's been out there for years, just making awesome honky tonk music. And there's a song that he did I heard it for the first time about 15 years ago, and it just hit me as like a great song. And we've been doing it live on our shows, and I thought, we need to hit the studio with this. So we're going to cover a James Hand tune. Got a really old Johnny Bush song that I'm going to pull out. And
have you met Johnny yet?
Yeah, oh man, John's a great guy.
Yeah.
Really, really friendly man. Just super sweet guy.
Always killing it. This never stops.
Man, he's still doing it too.
Yeah, still on the charts.
In fact, he was in Fort Worth last week. I didn't get to go see him. We were going to go. Ended up sick that day. Couldn't make it. But I visited with him about a year ago, and he had heard of me doing this song. I ran into his daughter in Bandera, and there was a song he put out. Well, he didn't put it out. He demoed it in the '60s. Had Willie Nelson on guitar, Tommy Morell on steel. I forget the other musicians.
Oh my God! You don't have to say anything more.
But it was just a demo.
Yeah.
And he ran down this song. It's called "If You Stand Too Close to Her, She'll Break Your Heart." And the first time I heard it, it was those those old file sharing things we were all guilty of that years ago. Well, I found this just mystery track, and it says Johnny Bush, and this is the song. I'm like, that's not Johnny Bush. Sounded nothing like the high tenor voice with the great vibrato. And come to find out, it was a demo that he cut before he, I guess, discovered that particular style. And the song always stuck with me. So when I formed my band, we started doing that song. And I ran into his daughter, and she said, "Did you say that was a Johnny Bush song before you?" Yeah. I said, "Well, that's my dad. I've never heard that song."
Wow.
I said, "Well, it was a demo that he cut years ago." And incidentally, he did release it with another album a few years ago.
Okay.
Called Green Snakes.
Yeah.
And
well, that was a big song for him too.
The demo was a second disc that he packaged with, I think, the first 1,000 copies. So it is commercially available.
I legitimately don't know a Texas artist that does not cover the song Green Snakes, by the way.
Oh man, that's an anthem.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got that on our YouTube channel probably by 7 or 8 different artists. Just the Green Snakes.
We did it just the other night.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was unfamiliar with the song, and when I talked to John last September, he said, "Yeah, my daughter said she heard you doing that song. Where did you hear it?"
Killer.
And I told him the story. He said, "Yeah, that's a good old song. We don't do it."
Did you have to give him the money for stealing the song from the file sharing?
Off the record, no. I didn't steal. It was shared with me from someone else. I didn't actually download the song.
Yeah, I know.
Clear my name. A statute of limitations is expired. This was 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago, so he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
I've since then, I did purchase the album since then. So, but no, he's like, "That's incredible that you would even have found that song in the first place." I said, "Well, I want to cut it on my next record, and I'd love to have you come and do it with me." And
What? Is he going to do it with you?
That's the plan.
Wow.
So it hasn't been done yet, and there's all kinds of stuff.
Holy
we have to work
cow.
out. But he expressed interest in recording the song with me, and
Wow.
I don't know how we're gonna split up the verses and all that. But
You'll figure it out. That's a...
we will for sure have a Johnny Bush cover on the album, and hopefully Johnny Bush himself on the album.
Wow.
But I hate to even say that because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
And
But he seems like a pretty genuine dude.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, so...
very real guy.
If he says he's going to do it, he'll probably do it. So again, it's episode 289. We're sitting here with Jake Penrod. I definitely want to talk more about $1 Million Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the ETA on the record?
We were hoping for this fall, but this fall is here, and we're
Just about, yeah.
we've got 4 songs pretty much finished up, and I'm looking at doing 2 more sets of 4. I always do 4 at a time, and so I've got 8 more to go. We're crowdfunding it, and we're doing pretty well with that. It's just
Well, make sure you send me the link for the crowdfund. I'd love
do
to
that.
put that in the description.
And we've got the funding we're getting there. We're about, I want to say, a third of the way to where we need to be. And the band is actually, we're all kicking in to help get this thing off the ground. Recording it down in Austin at Ameripolitan Studios. Familiar with Dale Watson?
Yeah, of course.
Coined the term.
Yep.
Chris
Wayne?
Nope. Chris Burns engineering this record, and he does a bang-up job. He actually the James Hand song that we're recording, he was on the session when James originally recorded that song. So we've got kind of his input.
So maybe early 2019 is the plan.
Hoping so.
Early to mid.
We're going to shoot for before spring.
Cool. Very cool. So new music incoming from Jake Penrod. Of course, you do have 2 records available, a full length and an EP.
Yep, and there's another EP that's digital only. You can find on iTunes. I actually recorded it in 2007, but we released it in 2012.
Okay, and you have physical copies of the first 2.
Right.
At your
One's
shows.
on back order. Closer to Me is on back order. We got to get those pressed up again. But Out of Control, I've got boxes and boxes of that thing.
Cool. I'm gonna want one of those.
Gotcha.
For sure. Because I know we're not in our living room today, but as you guys out there might know if you've watched the show before, typically the back wall here is filled with CDs, signed CDs from folks that have been on the show. So it's always kind of good promotion too.
Right.
You know. So again, it's Jake Penrod, episode 289. Jake's actually going to play us one more song, and we're going to show a sneak peek. The sneak peek song will be at the end of the episode as well. But tell us the next song you're going to play for us.
Next song is just a heartbreaking, depressing ballad I wrote about 3 weeks ago, and it's just sad. It's about being finding a T-shirt that has her perfume on it after she's been gone for a long time.
Oh yeah, we've all been through that.
It's really I don't know. I'll start to write a song and the song is sadder than I really am at the time. So to hear this, you would think I was just wallowing in self-pity, but it's one of those that I got the idea and then the song just wrote itself.
Very cool. What's it called?
It's called I Wasn't Gonna Cry.
All right, guys. So the one and only Jake Penrod is here on the ETX ROCKS Show. Y'all check out I Wasn't Gonna Cry.
I found a shirt behind the bed in that lonely place that used to be our room. And as I held it for a moment, my eyes filled with tears as I smelled your perfume. Oh, the memories of your kisses and the way you held your body close to mine. Yeah, today just went to hell, 'cause today's the day I wasn't gonna cry. Yeah, I was gonna be the toughest man the world has seen and be just fine. I was gonna show the world I'd finally gotten you off of my mind. I've never been so wrong as to think I could be strong. My God, could I believe such a lie? And today just went to hell, 'cause today's the day I wasn't gonna cry. Yeah, I was gonna be the toughest man the world has seen and be just fine. I was gonna show the world I'd finally gotten you off of my mind. And I've never been so wrong as to think I could be strong. My God, could I believe such a lie? And today just went to hell, 'cause today's the day I wasn't gonna cry. Yeah, today just went to hell, 'cause today's the day I wasn't gonna cry.
So we are back once again. It's episode 289 with Jake Penrod. That's If I Wasn't Gonna Cry. I Wasn't Gonna Cry. That was I Wasn't Gonna Cry by Jake, and he wrote that a month ago, y'all. What the heck? Just a classic breakup song.
It's sad for sure.
Man, it reminds me of, I hate to compare you to Hank again. I mean, that's what everybody does, but I'm going to go a step further. When Hank was first kind of morphing from Luke the Drifter into singing a little bit more, like the first couple of songs he released, that's kind of what it reminds me of, that song right there. Like really early post Luke the Drifter kind of stuff.
I was going for Freddie Hart or one of those dudes.
Oh, Freddie Hart was good too, yeah.
I'm on a Freddie Hart kick right now, so everything reminds me of Freddie Hart.
Freddie's tough to reach though, man, with that voice, dude. Gosh. Man, and still doing it today.
Yes,
man.
91.
Yeah, 91 years old. I mean, they bring out a chair for him, and he sits in the chair and just sounds like a damn angel every frickin' song.
Gives me chills.
Yeah, it's not fair. It really isn't. But yeah, we're here with Jake Penrod. Now, guys, if you haven't heard of Jake before, we're going to find out where you can follow along with Jake and everything else right after this message from an independent artist. Y'all check it out.
Hello, y'all. I'm Tristan Inman. Thank y'all for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show. Hope y'all enjoy.
All right, so we are back once again. It's episode 289. We're sitting here in beautiful Mojo Studio in Tatum, Texas. Make sure you're checking them out. Throw them some love. So we are back once again. Jake, if people are hearing about you for the very first time, where can they follow along with the journey, your social media webpage? Where can they buy the music, stuff like that?
On Facebook, The Real Jake Penrod. I think that's the facebook.com/The Real Jake Penrod. That's the personal page. We've got a band page. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm the one. It's Jake Penrod with a blue check beside my name.
Right.
So I'm the real one. JakePenrod.com has all the info as far as tour dates.
It's
things
a
like
great
that.
web page. Has all the tour dates. Has some links to music on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a lot of the music on there this morning, as a matter of fact. So it's JakePenrod.com. Very, very simple. And we'll put that in the description below as well. Now, I know you said that you have 3 different, one full-length album and 2 EPs that are available digitally, right?
Yeah, the very first, is really the first commercial recording I made. It was called What I Mean When I Say Country. It's 5 songs I recorded in '07, and we put it out in 2012 as a digital-only format, and it's on iTunes. Out of Control, also on iTunes, and we've got hard copies of that, so if anybody wants to order one of those, we can surely hook you up.
Cool.
And
the webpage for that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And closer to me, the hard copies are on back order. Should have some more of those here pretty soon,
Cool.
but everything's available digitally.
And again, $1 Million Cowboy coming at you in 2019. You gonna hold yourself to that 2019?
Oh yeah, I can't let it go any farther. I've got to get this stuff out because it's cool stuff.
I can't wait to hear it, guys. Just hearing the evolution process from one project to the next, and he keeps telling us that this is completely different. So
yeah, and we're about to drop one of the song I did earlier, All the Time. We're about to drop a single here, maybe in the next few weeks. We might wait till after the first of the year, but it's sort of a just for fun. What if I played this kind of music idea? And I'm not gonna.
it's not hip hop, is it?
Not exactly. No, actually, no. It's sort of. And for the longest time, I avoided and it's almost become a loose term, red dirt music, and it's got some of that in it. It's I took that song to my brother-in-law, Chris Wayne, and
Chris is red dirt.
Yeah,
Pretty red dirt.
really good red dirt too.
I
I told him, I've got this song. You want to produce it? See what you can come up with, and I was shocked when I heard it. I was like, that doesn't sound like me, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's a one-off. I think the diehard, real traditional country fans might not dig it so much, but not to where I'm not changing directions or anything.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a little, hey, what if I sounded like this project? But that's going to be a single.
And that's the creative juices just flowing as well. You got to try new things. We're excited about that. Hopefully you'll link us to that so we can share it as well. All the Time is going to be the name of the song. I think are you planning on playing Baby Steps next on the show today?
I think we just sound checked that.
What are you planning for the sneak peek?
I really don't know. I think I've got an idea. Probably Have You Ever Been a Fool?
All right. So guys, he is going to play a sneak peek song that will come out on social media. It'll be at the end of the show. Have You Ever Been a Fool is the name of that one. So that'll be at the very end of the show. Make sure you stick around for that. Again, it's JakePenrod.com. You can find all updated news, the tour schedule, the music, all that stuff will be there.
And you can book me from there, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very important.
And especially East Texas venues. Let's get on the ball here. Let's get Jake. I mean, he lives in Athens, guys. He doesn't have to go very far to play your venue if you're here in East Texas. So the challenge is on. Let's get Jake Penrod booked in the 903. What do you say? All right, so definitely thank everybody for spending some time with us this evening. I definitely want to thank everybody for spending some time with us today on episode 289, featuring the one and only Jake Penrod from Athens, Texas. Just a phenomenal artist. I thank you for spending some time
Thanks for having me.
with us and making the effort to come to
Enjoyed
us as
it.
well. Yeah, absolutely, Jake. And if you're hearing about us for the first time, you can follow along with everything we have going on. We're located at ETX Rocks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, even though my Twitter is a ghost town. Clint Eastwood is thinking about filming a Western there. It's that much of a ghost town. He's looking at it. I don't know if we'll pass the muster or not.
Right.
We'll see. Clint, call me. But anyway, follow us on all three of those social medias. If you're listening on the audio podcast, you can also find us on high definition video over there on the YouTube. You can find us at the ETX Rock Show on YouTube. Just enter 289 Jake Penrod ETX Rocks into the search bar and you'll find us there. And at least one of us is good looking. So that's always a plus. It's that guy. So check us out on the YouTube. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. Apparently there's also a little bell they're putting there now too because they want us to make more clicks on YouTube because it's not hard enough already.
Right.
So make sure you hit the bell to get notified of all content that we upload, and we're uploading all the time. So if you're a music fan, you definitely want to do that, and we thank you for that. We are also self-funded on this show, which means we are low budget. So if you guys would like to help donate to the show, we have a donate link set up at www.paypal.me/ETX Rocks, and that'll be in the description below as well if you guys just want to click it. We'll take anything from 5 cents to $1,662.37, anywhere in that range.
Very exact.
Yeah, you got to be specific. Because if like somebody wants to donate 1,712,
Too much.
yeah, it's just
much.
too much. Don't do that. Do it. But yeah, and we don't take Bitcoins anymore, folks. So stop sending those to me. Pesos are good. Polish zloty, yen. What else are we taking, Louise? Drachma. That's the new one. Yeah. So hook a brother up. And again, that'll be in the description down below. It's because of your support out there that we were just able to launch a massive website over at www.etxrocks.show, where we have over 10,000 hours of live music content on there, just hundreds of different artists on there. Go check that out. We also have an internet radio playlist over there on that website where all three of Jake's songs will be in that playlist by the end of the day today. So you get to hear Jake as well as like 200 or 300 other artists. A great way to learn new artists to become fans of. That's at etxrocks.show. And as we always say on the ETX Rock Show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
that's right.
Have you ever been a fool? Have you ever tried to break all the rules? And did you find out how it feels to lose a love that's real? Have you ever been a fool? Have you ever played the part of the one who breaks everybody's heart till the day you break your own and you wind up all alone? Have you ever been a fool? Have you ever been too blind to see the hurt you left behind? All the damage that you've done, all the while you had your fun. Have you ever looked around and watched your castles as they tumble to the ground? Then you'll know just what it's like to feel like me tonight. Have you ever been a fool? Have you ever been too blind to see the hurt you left behind? All the damage that you've done, all the while you had your fun. Have you ever looked around and watched your castles as they tumble to the ground? Then you'll know just what it's like to feel like me tonight. Have you ever been a fool?
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.